Good morning, everybody. It's the 29th of November 2012, about 10:18 a.m. in the morning. And you can see up there, you can see up there and you're not seeing things. It says overall review of WWE 13. Now you might say, well, did you play the whole thing? Well, let's just say I played the heart of the game, basically the attraction of the game, the selling point. I played the meat of the game, the one that was the selling point of this game, and that was the Attitude Era. Now, I can say this, with the exception of 4 matches, maybe 5 if you count off script, most of the Attitude Era is complete. Now, let me just say this about the Attitude Era. It is a fun, unique experience because basically you're reliving all of the matches. You're basically playing and reliving all of the matches of the Attitude Era that put the Attitude Era on the map. Now, of course, there's a lot of liberties WWE took with the remake of this. First of all, when you take a look at, let's say, the Royal Rumble and St. Valentine's Day Massacre, when you take a look at those pay-per-views, you kind of say to yourself, well, didn't Michael Cole announce Royal Rumble '99? Didn't he announce St. Valentine's Day Massacre? Didn't he announce a majority of WrestleMania 15 except for the main event? And that is true, he did. But because JR and the King were always more associated with the Attitude Era and helping to put it on the map with the let's face it, the phenomenal and unique with the legendary and phenomenal commentary, it only made sense for JR to be asked to come back and kind of provide his own unique brand on it, his own unique take on it. Like, what if, so basically it's like a, what if JR was doing the announcing kind of deal for certain situations, like when Mankind won the title, which was a Michael Cole commentary, but it was redone by JR. It may not sound the same, but still, like I say, JR and the King were more noted for being part of the Attitude Era. So that is why he was chosen to do that. They could have easily put Michael in those areas, but they didn't. The only time you ever heard Michael Cole's voice in any of the Attitude Era was during some of the video clips. That's right. You see, every now and then, after you would complete certain matches, I can't really tell, I think 3, maybe 2, 3, 4 matches, all depending on which chapter, you'd always get a video clip, which would be unlocked. You would unlock a video clip, and that video clip would go into the vault. It would. It would go right into the vault. So when you would go to, let's say, the Attitude Era, and you wanted to look at the video vault, you can click on which video packages you wanted to see. You unlock them all the time. Now, as you progress, of course, through the Attitude Era, if you will, again, you play and relive certain matches. Now, of course, you don't finish the matches exactly the way they are. It's just like, okay, all you have to do is go for the pinfall, submission, whatever, and win the match. It doesn't necessarily always end the way it originally did, unless they go to a cutscene. You see, basically, here's the thing. You got several, in many of these matches, you got several goals. Some of them are very simple. Some of them are just, do this, win by pinfall submission, and that's it. But others are, you got to do this, you got to do that, and then you open up by doing those things, by doing those 1 or 2, maybe 3 things, you open up the hidden objectives. And sometimes the hidden objectives are what else you have to do. Or other things that you have to do. Like, let's say you get the character's, health, because it's basically 3 stages you got to get it to. If you get it to a certain stage, whether it's moderate, light, or critical, or light, moderate, and critical, basically what you do is then something like a hidden objective will show up. Or let's say you hit your signature move and you start pounding away. Like say you're playing a Stone Cold and you're doing a loose death press. You know, that goal will vanish. That's one of the things. I'll get into that in a second. But after you do that goal, a hidden objective after maybe a few moments will appear. And you find out what that objective is. Like either you got to put someone through a barricade, you got to put someone through a table, or whatever. It's a hidden objective basically to coincide of what took place during the match. Now another unique experience with Attitude Era is the Attitude Moments. Basically it's like a little mini game. After you've performed, in the Attitude Moment is basically one of the things you got to accomplish, one of the objectives. And after you've completed the Attitude Moment, after you've gotten to that point, when you get to the Attitude Moment, it's like I said, it's like a mini game. You got Y. If you got an Xbox, it's Y, B, A, X. If it's a PlayStation, I think it's X, square, triangle, circle, something like that. I can't really remember. I have to look at my PlayStation controller to kind of have an idea. But it'd be similar the same way. And when you press, and getting the Attitude Moment, achieving that moment's easy because all the stuff, the button that you have to press will start flickering on the screen. So you press the button, you get the Attitude Moment. And sometimes it's just knocking the referee down, or it's doing something that took place during that match. Now, getting back to the objectives, the hidden ones as well as the noted ones. The noted ones, of course, are the ones you have to accomplish if you want to achieve an unlockable, if you want to unlock something, get a reward. Well, after you have achieved those objectives, you've done those objectives, they'll vanish, and then you're left with either the hidden objectives, that two, after you're done with them, will vanish, and then you're left with either just winning the match by pinfall submission, or it'll go straight to a cutscene, sort of a cutscene remake of what took place at the end of that match, or during that match. So, that's the unique perspective about it. That is really, really unique about it. And it makes it fun. Now, I will say this. It makes it fun, but it doesn't make it easy. It doesn't make it easy. Because sometimes, believe me, it took me several times just to accomplish something. Heck, it took my nephew, my 17-year-old nephew who was here over the weekend, it took him several times just to accomplish something before he did it. But that's what it is. And it progresses from chapter to chapter. It progresses from the DX chapter, it goes to the Stone Cold chapter, it goes to the Great One chapter, it goes to Mankind, then it goes to WrestleMania, and then it goes to Off... No, wait a minute, hold on. No, it actually goes from DX, I think it goes to Austin, then it goes to Brothers of Destruction, Kane and Undertaker, then to Rock, then to Mankind, and then to WrestleMania. Again, if I'm wrong about that, I'll recheck it. I'll let you guys know maybe in an update video if I do one. But you kind of get the idea. It's like after you've finished all the matches, like I said, DX, I think Austin, and Brothers of Destruction, and Great One, which is The Rock, and Mankind. After you finish those, and then as well as WrestleMania, you'll unlock another portion. You'll unlock basically a freebie chapter. Basically, like, you know, just accomplish certain goals right there. Like, you get to choose what you want to do to unlock things. You don't have to progress. You don't have to keep doing match after match just to progress into the next match to try to unlock something. When you finally achieve the entire Attitude Era, you'll go to off script, and basically you can choose from any one of those selections there. All you have to do is click on what you want to click on. You want to click on Vader, you got to play as Kane. Just like with the Attitude Era, you got the objectives you got to meet, and after you've met those objectives, you unlock Vader. You want to unlock Stephanie, you play as Lita, you get the objectives there, you play as Lita. You unlock Lita of that time period and Stephanie. You want to play as Trish Stratus, you unlock Trish Stratus by playing as her, beating Lita, and you unlock Trish Stratus, and you unlock Lita of 2001. So you got two Litas that you unlock, 2000 and 2001. And then of course if you want JBL, I think you got to play as Edge and Christian and beat the Acolytes. And you got, like I said, certain objectives there you got to meet. Same with the Acolytes taking the APA taking on, or when they were the Acolytes taking on Kane and X-Pac. You got to meet certain requirements there. Same with the Godfather. You got to meet certain requirements there to get him. Basically, the objectives in off-script are, you know, they're just as tricky. I will say that some of them are just as tricky as what you have in the attitude portion in the attitude era portion of it that allows you to unlock off-script. But besides that, you just got to play certain matches. Like Eddie Guerrero, you got to play as Stone Cold against Eddie Guerrero and meet the objectives there. You kind of get the idea. You want to get the SmackDown arena, you got to play the main event. You got to play the tag team main event of the pilot episode from 1999, in April of 1999. Now, besides all that, after you've achieved a lot of that, you can pretty much get a lot of things. Now, I know there's a lot of people, and I'll even put myself in this category, that'll probably have gotten or will be getting the fan access, downloading the accelerator, and that's just unlocking everything else. If you don't want to go through, if you don't want to go through the painstaking task of having to unlock things again, you know. Checking my time there. You know, like I said, if you don't want to go through the painstaking task of unlocking a lot of other things, like in Universe, you got to do certain things to unlock items there too. And it's not as easy as it looks. I mean, I won the WWE Championship with The Miz, as it said, but it didn't unlock. It didn't unlock The Miz's championship, so it makes you want. So basically, for certain other things, you might want to go with the accelerator. Now, besides the Attitude Era is not the only thing that sells this. It's all the other things that sell it, like the improvements in certain gameplay. Certain gameplay has improved. I will say that. Certain gameplay has improved. It still needs to be worked on, there's no doubt, but certain gameplay has improved. You know, like, if you're a deep fan of the Divas, and you've always wanted to get back to that 6 Diva situation that you've had in previous games, like 4, 3, 5 years ago, well, that's back. The only exception is the Elimination Chamber. You can't play a 6 Diva Elimination Chamber unless I think it's online. That's the only way you can do it. Another thing is, I've mentioned this before in another video, the Creative Arena option. You get a lot more options here. You get the regular size arena that you got in WWE'12. You get almost like an auditorium, high school gymnasium, whatever you want to call it, arena. You get an expanded arena, if you will, that would probably sit like 20,000 plus. You get the Tribute to the Troops arena, and you get an outdoors arena, which is very reminiscing of, or very similar to the Caesar Palace, which is basically a takeoff WrestleMania 9 Caesar Palace. So you get those, and it's really fun to create these. I've downloaded some unique creations. I've made some, and it's really, really fun. It's really, really fun to play. You know, to really allow. It's really fun. It allows your creative juices to really go about, to really expand. And I will be back in a little bit with Finalium.